Hey, good Tuesday evening, folks. Keith from Heavily Game Farm here. Just snuck out to the farm a couple hours before dark, work on a little project that I've been meaning to try and tackle. As you can see behind me here, we've got a wet spot on the trail. And that's because up in the hills up here, there is a little bit of a spring that certainly is running most all the time, but it picks up after rain. And this particular part of the trail gets pretty wet, pretty nasty and pretty bumpy. We're going to divert it. There's a culvert back up here by the tractor. I'll show you here in just a second. And the previous owner had dug a little pond area and put a culvert in because this is where the spring used to run. But just when he completed his work with the culvert and the little pond area, for some reason the spring diverted and went just off in a little different direction. So I am going to work to convince that spring to go back towards that pond area and that culvert, and hopefully get this area dried up. So I will. I'm going to show you a little footage here of the wet spot, and I'll show you the pond and the culvert that we're going to be working to try and divert the water into. So stick with me, and we'll see how this project goes. All right, guys. So here's a little bit more of the trail. You can see that it gets pretty nasty. Looks like there's some timber boards laid down in here before the previous owner, trying to shore this up a little bit. And but this water has just really kind of wreaked havoc. This is the spot where it's coming down along the trail, and then it's crossing the trail right in here. In fact, you can see it flowing a little bit right now. So like I said, I'm going to spend a little time working to divert this back into the area, the pond that he had made with the culvert, and I'll show you that in just one second. So here is the culvert coming across the swamp trail. This is the downhill side, and you can see he had water flowing here at one time, but like I said, the spring for some reason diverted and changed directions, and so it dried this thing up. I'll walk you across the trail here and show you the bigger portion of the pond that he had dug. I don't know what he got in here. I think maybe he just used his tractor or something, but he dug this out quite a bit. Got it ready to collect some of the water before crossing the trail, and then he lost the water flow. So I'm gonna use the tractor and get these two fallen trees out of here. It's pretty dry. I'm hoping that I don't get stuck. And then I'm gonna work to hand shovel and redirect the spring. It's not too far away, so I should be able to get it to come this way pretty easily. So, and then here's the high side of the culvert right here. You can see it's pretty high, and so it's hoping that this little area here will fill in and make a little pond. Just a real small pond, but you know, frogs, etc. So we'll see what happens. We'll get you set up to kind of watch the evening progress here. We'll see how it goes. So we just finished up the tractor work. It didn't go too bad. Pond emptied out. We got it cleaned up and opened up a little bit. And now I'm going to go around the backside and see if we can start to shovel a path to divert that water flow over this way a little bit. So I'll take you back there and show you what I'm up to. Alrighty, so the spring is just back up in here. You can probably see the dark spot right back there. It's not too far at all. I'm going to see about breaking open a little spot there where I can then start to shovel a trail and hopefully divert this thing over this way. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm an old fart who's out of shape, but I got a little bit of a channel going here. I think there might be a high spot, but I'm going to take you over and show you the spring, and we'll show you breaking open the water. Okay, folks, right there's the little bubbler. It's pretty much a constant flow. After rainfalls, it's heavier, but we've noticed that even in the drought of the last month, there's still trickle coming out of there. So I'm going to bust that thing open and see if we can convince that water to flow the other way. Again, I think there's a bit of a hill that I'm going to have to work on, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. She's flowing. Well, there she is, bubbling away. She's flowing the direction I want her to. The thing is that it's soaking up a lot on the sidewalls on its way down, but I think it'll get there. Making some progress. See, it's soaking through as it's moving along. But this is where we're headed. Right down here. Make a little bit of a waterfall. And then hopefully fill up that hole. Probably not going to be much, but we'll see what happens over time. Well, looky here, folks. Would you check that out? A couple of days ago, I was working on this area, if you recall, and cleaning out some of the fallen trees and rerouting our little spring. It was bone dry. We got a couple of days of rain, and looky there. We already got a ton of water in here. In fact, we have so much water that it's already up to the culvert level. So we're gonna work on that a little bit. Maybe raise the culvert, relocate the culvert. But look at that. Should have the trail dry now. And we got a little pond. That's a pretty decent amount of flow.